Okay, so I'm getting some questions about how to dimension angles. So let's go ahead and make a part that has an angle on it. So I'm going to create a standard part here, click a 2D sketch. I'm going to sketch something like this on here. So let's click line. So I'll sketch something in here that looks close to being what I want it to look like. You will see this, or if you haven't seen it, you'll see it again. So we want to make sure. So I'm going to do some things here. I'm going to say that this midpoint is coincident with that right there. I want to say that the top line here is equal to this line right there. This line is equal to this line. This line is equal to this line. This line is equal to this line. So now we're getting somewhere. So now we can go in here and we can put a dimension on. We can go ahead and dimension this from here up to here, which will be 1. Actually, I don't like 1. I want it to be 1.5. Alright, so then we'll also go up here and do a dimension that goes from there to the top. That will then be 2.5. Alright, so we're getting closer to what we want. This dimension right here, just as we're going to go here, we're going to put a dimension from here to here. We're going to drag it out and do 45. The other thing we want to do is put a dimension on that line right there that tells us it's 4 wide. We'll finish that and we're going to extrude it. We'll extrude that an entire length of 8. And we'll make it go back the other way. Alright, so there we've got a part. We're going to save it as 209-6-50, and this is a dovetail. Alright, then once we got that saved, we'll go to new. We're going to create, it's in English, so we'll go to ANSI inch IDW, create that layout drawing, and we'll put the base view in like this. I'm going to switch it so it goes like that. So that's a great view for that. And let's see here. I'll go ahead and project this one over here, this one up here, and put an isometric up there. Right click and click OK. So we're good there. So now when we start dimensioning this thing, we only want to put a couple dimensions on. We're going to annotate this to put a dimension on that tells us what the overall height is, and I'll put that on this view right here. I'll do a dimension that tells us what the overall width is, and I'll do that on that view right there. I'm trying to keep those lined up. So I've got a width, I've got an overall height. Now we're going to start dimensioning some other features. I'm going to dimension the feature that has this length right there. And then the big question that everyone had was this angle right here. So I'm just going to put a dimension on from that line to that line and put it right there. And it works out. So the only other thing that's left is the entire length of the part, so I'll just put a dimension right here. Alright, then you should go back in, change the dimension, text size, fill in your title block, create the PDF file, and submit that to Blackboard.